Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. So recently I was offered a gift voucher by Nicolett Pro to try some of her products. You can find her on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and she has a website. I will link them in the description box and I will show you the card at the end of this video. So any of you that have watched previous videos have seen me on occasion try polygel, acrygel, whichever you want to call it. And I struggle, to put it nicely. I struggle a lot. I have tried different brands, but because I've struggled, I have always bought cheaper brands or non-professional brands in any case. And to put it bluntly, it has generally been a shit show. I stick it to everything, including myself. I can't put it anywhere. I don't finish a set. So yeah. So when she offered me the chance to try some of her products, I got some builders. If you've seen the last video, you'll know that. If not, you definitely want to check out that video. There's some beautiful stuff on there. And I got some Acrygel because I thought, okay, this is a professional brand. Things may work out differently this time. Let's give it a shot. So that is what I'm doing today. I am giving it a shot. Now, this video, as you can see, is very, very heavily edited and sped up, because even though I have done only one hand, I am using my non-dominant hand to do said hand, and this video took me an hour and a half of filming because I was very, very slow. I think one of the clips of me applying polygel to one nail and getting it in position was about 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes for one nail. So yeah, it took a while, but we got there in the end, and you will be surprised at the end results. I was shocked at the end results. I sat there bouncing in my chair like a happy little 2-year-old. Yeah, I actually accomplished something for once with this stuff, and I'm so damn happy about it. So I am just prepping my cuticles at the minute. Before that, I had hard gel on my nails, and it was from one of last month's nail mail boxes, and it was Stellar Gel. So I had had that hard gel on for about 6 weeks. I'd done 2 infills. The stuff was not budging. I did forget to put the video up for that. So if I do still have the footage, I will put it up as a late box. I did film it, and I did film the application. But definitely good stuff. I'm finding hard gel stays on my nails a lot better than acrylic. So I'm just doing all my prep. Everything is sped up. So I am very, very predominantly right-handed. I struggle a lot with my left hand. So while it doesn't necessarily look that fast on the screen with me using the e-file, it's been sped up by a lot. So I find that after using the e-file, and even after brushing, there is still sometimes tissue and dust underneath the nail. So I found that with a flat-edged cuticle pusher, this one is from Katie Barnes. I can't quite remember the name of it, but I got it in a Tenner Tuesday deal. But I find that going in with the corner of that just underneath that flap, just underneath your flap. Flap is not the correct term, but it is 5:30 in the morning, so flap is what you're getting. Nail fold. I find that it clears out some debris. And since I've actually added that extra little step, I have found my retention is a lot better, because occasionally I would get a little bit of lifting in those areas, and I honestly think that's why, because since I've done that, I haven't had it, and it's just removing those extra little bits, because sometimes when you brush, it can brush little bits up there, even spraying your nails and then brushing like I was doing earlier. So this is me laying everything out. I did get overexcited. Open the Acrygel, put some on the spatula, and then realise, oh crap, that is not the order we're going in. I need to apply the base coat first. So I don't have any slip solution. So I am just filling a dapping dish with some Blue Sky Cleanse solution that I have. I put far too much in that dish. But before, when I've done it, I've tried a lot of solution. I've tried a little bit of solution. I've tried this, that, and everything. So I'm just making sure that my cuticle area hasn't moved its little self back down. I have little to no cuticle on my nails naturally, and my folds move quite a lot, so I like to just whack them back where I put them. So these, I don't know what I was going to say, rats. Okay, so the base gel, I have as little as possible on that brush, and the little backwards and forwards movements are me scrubbing that into the nail plate and making sure it's sticking in all those little grooves and not just being laid over the top of it, because sometimes it doesn't migrate into those little scratches. So after I e-filed everything off, I then went over with a 150 file, not on the natural nail plate, just where I had parts of the gel left. And I roughed that up with them and I gave them some quite deep scratches. And that was so this would settle in and it would bond nicely. Give my polygel and my base gel some little roots so it doesn't go anywhere. And I will give you an update on how these last. Obviously, because I am pretty much an Acrygel reject and a novice, it's possible I may have done these nails a little too thin. But for a first attempt, I'm really freaking happy. So I will let you know how they last, because the other hand I am going to be using the builder gels on, which I will also film. So I'm just popping some in. And like I said, heavily sped up. This took me like 2 to 3 minutes just to do one of these because I was super, super careful and super gentle. But my thoughts on this gel are this. It scoops out nice and easy with the spatula end. I did not need to add that extra bit, by the way. It looks like I'm pressing hard with that brush, but I am honestly not. You barely have to touch this stuff to move it. I don't need a lot of liquid on that brush. In fact, I'm actually blotting most of it off. It moves so well. It doesn't stick to my brush. Yeah, these are all things that have happened in the past that just don't with this. It is a nice texture and it lays nicely. So I did have a few little wiggles trying to get that into place. And I'm just spreading now. Do you see I really didn't need the extra gel I put in there. Now this is one I'm not sure if I pressed too hard because you can just see the edge corners of my sidewalls in places. So curing this, I did the normal 60 seconds. There is no heat spike. I'm not sure if you normally get heat spikes with polygel, but you don't with this one. And there's me really, really worrying. I'm being so gentle trying to take that off because I'm convinced that I'm going to yank the nail off with it, given all the bad luck I've had in the past. But look at that. Yes, I have some edges near the cuticle a little bit and the side walls. And I've definitely butchered the end of that nail. But all things considered, that is the first nail I've ever got on successfully, with no drama, no faff, no crying. So I am pretty damn pleased and I will take what I can get. Now I end up filing this one straight after before continuing with the rest of the nails because looking at it was driving me nuts and I just could not leave it alone until I'd done it. So I've sped this bit up. So because I've sped it up, it does look like I'm being a little rough. But this stuff files. I mean, wow. Hard gel will always file easier than acrylic. Always. But I've never actually filed polygel. And saying that that actually files quicker than hard gel is saying something. Because that is like a hot knife through butter. That was absolutely awesome. So a lot of the rest of it is just the same application. And I do get better as I go along. It really is easy to use. And I tell you what, I grinned for the rest of the day. And we're showing absolutely everybody these nails. You look at it and so happy with them. And the sparkle on them is awesome. See the lightest pressure and it just moves where you want it. I absolutely love this stuff. So I chose to do my right hand with this because it doesn't move. So with the hard gel, I was probably going to make it. I find it difficult with my left hand, especially at the minute with it and being swollen and a pain in the butt. Now the going this nail and the ones after it, I didn't press down as hard. Not near the cuticle, but at the end of my nail, so they are a lot more balanced. The only one I'm unsure of is my pinky nail, which kind of aeroplanes up a little. But my ring finger and my pinky finger both have very predominant C curves. And they also have a natural arch on the nail. So I think I just need to work with the forms a little better for those. And I did actually squeeze the forms in and bend them in a little just so they fit the shape of that nail a little better. So now I got the first two out the way, I do go in with the base coat for the others. So the reason I didn't do that to begin with is because if something went wrong, then I'd be getting cleanse everywhere. I would be wiping the sticky off. Chip is always running around and wanting to go out or wanting attention. You've heard him in the past, he likes his conversation and butting in. But bless his little socks, he slept all afternoon and the couple of hours it took me to do this hand. So I could have cut some bits out, but I've just chosen to leave it all in. So this shade that I'm using is Lilac Spark. I liked it for A, the fact that it's lilac, and B, for its sparkle. So this is a really nice colour by itself regardless. But my thinking was it would also be a really nice colour for going into Christmas time and that time of year, because you have the sparkle. It's kind of it's like the festive spirit, but you've also got your artwork built in. You don't need to do anything to it. It's already coloured and sparkly. I just added I add a few accents to the end, which I'll let you see, just to have something on it, and because I'm going to do some to my other hand and I don't want it to be naked. You'll have to let me know how this video length is because I'm repeating steps. I didn't know whether to chop it out and have it as a slower video but with less in it, or speed it up and put it all in, which is what I've done this time. Because my first thought was to leave it at the slow pace it was and then just show you one or two nails, because it would have probably worked out about the same timings, or speed it up and show everything. In the end, I chose to speed it up and show everything. I've noticed at the moment there is a few offers on different places for nail products and art classes, which I thought I would share. So I'm just shortening the length on these, they're a little too long. So if you are on Instagram, there is a lady called Kerry Anderson, and she does nail art classes. She had them all on a website. Some were £10, some were £25, some were more. She's selling her full catalogue of 16 classes for £10 because she's taking her career in a different direction. So it's like all 16 classes for £10. It covers gel artwork, it covers acrylic application, there's ombres in there, there's French designs, there's tie-dye designs. Definitely worth a look. I will try and pop her Instagram in the description box. But if you want to search her up for yourself, it's Kerry Anderson. And her little badge is like a rainbow peace and love sign that says Kez 2107 on it, just so you know you're getting the right person. So I am going in with a brush I recently got a couple of boxes ago in my nail mailbox, and it's a dual-ended one. And I am using my Rachel Wilder's black gel paint. I do not know what happened there. It just paused and decided to be jackass. And my fine liner brush. And I decided to add a cobweb to my nails. The lines are a little uneven and a little shaky, but given it's a cobweb, that kind of adds to its spooky appeal. So if this was unslowed down, you would see just how shaky my fingers are on this. So I do have some playlists if you are wanting to check those, with some autumn designs on. There's some Halloween designs, and I have noticed a lot of the sweater design videos coming up, so I do have a tutorial for that. I think I have 2 different videos on there. So one of them, the earliest one, is very in-depth and absolutely back to basics from the beginning, and that was filmed by me when I was newer to nail art. And I think it is actually one of my better videos. So I go through the difference between polish and gel paint, and I go through the different things you can use to frost. I call it frosting, to frost your raised design. From acrylic powder with a bit of chrome mixed in to give you a very like smooth sparkle, to the different thicknesses of glitters, and I even show you how each one will look, from your like pixie dust, which is like icing sugar, to your super fines, which is like one step up, to your fines, and it shows you how each one would look, and it goes absolutely step through step basics through the designs as well. So that one should be fairly easy to follow, and I think it really well explains it. But it's definitely worth taking a look. I think I may try and film a newer one with some more designs in as well. But I think that one will always be my favourite one because it's properly back to basics. And a while back, a lady did ask me about fine lines and how to achieve them. And I said I would create a video, and I did. But for some earthly reason, I don't know what's happened to it. So I am going to refilm that as well. And it's going to talk about the pressure of your brush and how to angle it right to get you the difference between like the thicker lines and the thinner lines. So this is my attempt at a pumpkin. And just to explain how sped up these are, by the way, that pumpkin nail took me 3.5 minutes to film, and apparently that cobweb took me 6 minutes. 6 minutes 50 something, so let's call it 7 minutes. So that is how sped up these are. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have stayed until the end and listened to my 20 odd minutes of rambling, I definitely think you should check out Nicolett Pro. I will leave her in the description box, and I do show her card at the end of this video. She does have an offer running at the moment, which is 10% off your first offer, I do believe. I saw that on the website when I was looking. And thank you for watching my first attempt. Well, not my first attempt, my first non-failed attempt at polygel or Acrygel, whichever one you want to name it. This one, by the way, is called Acra Elite, and it's definitely saved my butt and worked in my favour, so it definitely is elite. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed my video. Check out my others, see if there's anything you fancy there. There is a whole different range of random things. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It will take you the click of a button. It does not cost you. You don't even have to watch any of my further videos, but it really helps my channel grow and it helps keep my numbers up, which I really seriously appreciate. It's nice to know people like following along with you and watching your videos, sometimes maybe learning stuff, sometimes watching for shits and giggles to see how you mess up this time. But for once with this stuff, it was not a mess up. In the video before this where I introduce these products, I even tell you to stay tuned and watch the shit show, but for once it wasn't a shit show. I managed to achieve a really, really good set of nails, and I am saying this with a huge grin on my face. They look pretty, and the smoothness. I love the smoothness. One of the parts I hate most about doing nails is trying to file it and get everything perfectly even for that perfectly smooth base and all your even sides. And the foam just does it for you. It's great. I love it. I think I'm in love with the new product. The foams I used, by the way, were the ones in my recent mini haul from Thankyou. I will pop the link if anybody asks for it. So I'm just going in with the top coat. And look at the sparkle. Like I said, I'm not quite sure on the edges on some of those. I think I've left them a little thin, but we will see. So thanks for watching, guys. It means a whole bunch. Look at my pretties. And I will see you all soon. Bye, guys. Thank you again for watching.